Weekly Outdoor Plus is a new and exciting outdoor show presented by Bucks and Bulls Archery in Stevens Point. Starring new owner Gary Hintz. His youngest son, the show pro, Jase Hintz. And the show producer, creator, and host, his oldest son, Seth Hintz. So now sit back and relax and get ready to learn about archery and the world of the outdoors. This week on Weekly Outdoor Plus, we're heading down to Janesville with Gary and a group of local archers who are ready to compete in an indoor tournament.
Thank everyone for showing up. I have a few rules to go over first. Parents, if you want to take photos, you can step up to the line. Please no flashes. Bothers the shooters. Any bow adjusting has to be made in between the rounds. We don't want people standing at the line making adjustments. So they shoot their 5 arrows. If you want to make an adjustment while you're back there waiting, make your adjustment, you're fine. Any arrow that goes halfway is considered a shot arrow. Any arrow that bounces off the target is scored as a 0. There's no way that they can tell where it hit or anything, so it's scored as a 0. When you're done shooting, hang your bows up and be courteous to the other shooters. You'll have a double whistle command. They'll tell the archers to the line. They grab your bows, come to the line. You blow the whistle once. Once he blows that whistle, you can start shooting. But no one should knock an arrow until that whistle blows. When you're done shooting, hang your bow up. They'll give a double whistle command. That means it's safe for us to retrieve our arrows. As you are waiting there, we want you to wait behind the black line to give the scorekeepers a chance to score your arrows. They will tell you when to pull your arrows. Please do not pull them until your scorekeeper tells you it's safe for you to pull. Did I miss anything?
Drop arrow.
Oh, dropped arrow. Just leave the arrow on the floor when everyone's done shooting. One of the scorekeepers or the line judge will grab your arrow. You get an opportunity to shoot your arrow. We'll shoot 2 practice rounds of 10 arrows, and then after that we'll score a 300 game. That's 60 consecutive arrows. Okay? When we're done, while the scorekeepers are adding up their scores back there at the bed, kind of towards the back, either myself or one of the other gentlemen will want you to kind of come. There's some door prizes and stuff like that.
Then you're going to start scoring and use them 10 practice to make sure your sight. Okay. Don't
Stay tuned for more from the Janesville tournament when we return later on Weekly Outdoor Plus. Woodmat frames are fully customizable handcrafted wood frames. Choose your style of frame, then customize the white maple, cherry, or alderwood mattings with any logo, image, or text. Each and every frame is handmade in central Wisconsin by Master Woodworks, whose creativity and precision led to the creation of these great new frames. Whether you're looking for a single frame or something for the whole group, woodmatframes.com is the place to go. Check us out online or email sales@woodmatframes.com for pricing and ordering information. So when you're ready to put another memory on the wall, come to woodmatframes.com and make it extra special.
Hi, welcome to Frank's Hardware in Stevens Point, Wisconsin.
Proud to be family owned and operated since the 1940s.
Conveniently located on Highway 10, Frank's Hardware has all your general hardware needs, and we specialize in a wide variety of products, meaning all of your paint, lawn and garden, plumbing, electrical, and many more of those household needs.
Not only do we have a new one,
But we can show you how to fix what you already have. Did you know Frank's Hardware also offers a wide variety of services?
so stop on down to Frank's Hardware today. We don't just have great products.
But we have great service.
This mineral is a game changer. I've put the odds in my favor. It's time to close the deal. I wouldn't change a thing. Finally, the buck of a lifetime. Real deal mineral. The results speak for themselves.
Bucks and Bulls Archery in Stevens Point is now under new ownership and has a new location. Stop down to 3272 Church Street and meet the new owner, Gary Hintz. His fully stocked pro shop carries Matthews, Hoyt, and many more products to serve all your needs. They also do all repairs for any style and full customizations. Leagues and lessons will begin soon, so stop in today and check out what's new, because we're confident that we can get you from in here to out there. Bucks and Bulls Archery, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Just 7 miles east of Stevens Point, Matero's Pub and Pizza. It's worth the drive.
Did you guys know that you can test the straightness of your arrow without any extra tools? If you guys missed any of my other lessons and tips, feel free to check them out on the Hintz Media YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, welcome to this week's lesson segment on Weekly Outdoor Plus. Jase Hintz here with you again, accompanied by Mark Gruber. And this week we're going to go over another question from Tim in Massachusetts. It's going to be basically shaft selecting and what the difference is and how you can adjust them for you and how you would go about doing that. So the first question I guess I'm going to go over with Mark here is what is the difference between, obviously this arrow and that arrow? You can get this arrow in, I believe, 3 or 4 different spines. What's the difference? Why would you go with a certain one like that? What makes you make your mind up?
Well, there is a bunch of different spines. I mean, you got your 250s, you got your 350s, and it all just depends on your manufacturer, but most of them have the same spine, spines, and how you'd go about finding the right spine for you is just go to the manufacturer's website, whatever company you're looking at or anything like that, and they'll have charts for you, and you'll just have to determine your arrow length and your draw weight, and some of them have adjusted curves for that. And I mean, your standard tip weights are going to be 100 and 125. I mean, that's probably 95% of everybody's broadheads or tips these days. And so basically you just select your spine and then cut down your arrow length, and another couple ways you can adjust it. So basically the shorter you cut your arrow, the stiffer your arrow is going to become. And I mean, you can adjust your point weight like from 100 and 125. The more weight you put in the front, the weaker your arrow will react after that. And I mean, there's a little bit of variance here. If you can add more weight to the back of the arrow, that'll actually stiffen it up. But I mean, that's really getting down to micro managing it. But basically your arrow length is the most important aspect of it. And I mean, other than that,
So
that's pretty much it.
Let's say I shoot 60 pounds, my draw length's 29 inches, so I just cut my arrow at 29 inches. I'm going to shoot this Maxima Red. What spine would I pick out of that?
Well, on that one, you're right at the borderline.
Okay.
And with a 29-inch arrow, I would probably say sometimes it's better to go stiff rather than have too weak, especially for broadheads. So probably a 350, and I mean you could even crank that up to 64 pounds and probably spine out really good.
Okay.
So I mean it's so, and like right there, the different manufacturers' charts will tell you, and like I said, if you're right on the cusp, it's probably better just to go up a size, so a little bit stiffer. So instead of a 250, go to a 350, just because, I mean, it's easier to tune a stiffer arrow than an arrow that's too weak. And if you want to go up a size, you just leave it an inch longer. So
Okay.
there's a couple different things.
One thing too, I know for like if you're on the borderline like that too, and you're shooting like a monster, you know, one of the bows that are a lot more radical, a lot more kinetic energy coming out of them a lot faster. Obviously, you're gonna no questions asked want to go up the next arrow spine, I would say, and then obviously that'll make it so if you are shooting any bow, you'll still be able to shoot them, but the more radical your bow as well. If you're on the line, obviously you got to go up one, and if you're gonna be that guy, you know, all right, I'm gonna be shooting 29-inch, 60 pounds. I can get a 250. You can, but the problem is you're gonna have to. A lot of guys will try to get a lot of speed out of their arrows, and what's the first thing they're gonna do to get speed? Well, I'm gonna cut my arrow shorter. First of all, you cut an inch off your arrow. How much speed are you gonna gain?
About 2 feet a second.
So is it worth 2 feet to do that and make your arrow super stiff? Probably not. So there's a lot of different ins and outs that you can gain speed on. A lot of people think cutting their arrow, you know, I shoot 29 inches, I'm gonna cut it down to 27 and move my rest back. All you're doing is making your arrow super stiff and you gain 4 feet. Really not worth it. So a lot of things you could definitely think about in that aspect. I mean, we can go on speed another day, but so the big things we basically are saying that no matter what arrow you got to make sure you get the right spine out of the gates for basically your weight and your draw length to an extent. And if you have an extremely radical bow or you're shooting, you know, a youth bow, you can obviously go weaker or stronger in that aspect too. But the big difference is once you already have your arrow selected and you need to critique it, you can cut down the shaft length, or you obviously can't add on, so cut it down to make it stiffer if you need it. Otherwise, if you need it weaker, you can throw a little bit more weight in the front and actually get a little more flex out of your arrow. Those basically are the two ways that'll be the easiest to adjust your different spine of your arrow. Again, if you have any questions on how to do it, like he said, you can go on the manufacturer website. Stop in your local pro shop. They'll pretty much know whatever line that they carry, or maybe even other ones of what kind of arrow you would need. Another great tool that, I mean, it isn't extremely perfect, but it's very good. Archer's Advantage, you can go on there and you can literally type in your full setup. You can go on the shaft selector page and you could go through every single arrow company and what arrow will work for you. And then you could also, you know, tweak it. So what if I wanted to go a little bit shorter, gain that 2 feet a second and throw a little bit less weight in the front? Well, okay, now I'm at 7 feet. Maybe it's worth it for me to get a different arrow. Go over those little different options and obviously that'll help you out as well. And big thing is, you know, it's going to be basically the first step of tuning your bow you can do with your arrow just by making it more shooter friendly, by having it actually flex instead of being super stiff or not bending in half when you take a shot, because obviously that ain't good either.
Yeah. And one of the things too to think about is you don't want your bow flying really fast. Like 300 feet a second is really pushing it with broadheads, because I mean, if you shoot fixed broadheads, you are going to have a tough time tuning them, shooting them that fast. So I mean, that's something to think about too. And I mean expandables, yeah, they are easier to get to fly because they don't have blades sticking out on the ends that you have to steer with your vanes. But so I mean, I would try to stick to about like 280, 285. That's a great speed. I think that's almost even a little fast, but
I'd say between 280 and 300 really is not that big of a difference either, especially hunting. You're not shooting much over 40, 50 yards max normally, especially with broadheads because they are harder to shoot. So going any faster than 280, I think, is really unnecessary. And the faster you go, you end up just lightening up your arrow, and you end up 97% of the time having zero kinetic energy, and you're not going to get as good of a pass through or clean of a shot as you want anyways, and you're not going to shoot as accurate like he was saying in the long run. So it's more about your shot placement than how fast it gets there. You know, it doesn't matter if you miss fast, you'd rather hit them slow, right? It's a lot more fun that way.
Essentially.
So basically think about, you know, get your correct shaft out of the gates. You can adjust it with your length. You can adjust your point weight. One little quick thing that a lot of people think, if you have a really fat arrow, it's going to be a lot stiffer, or if you have a really thin arrow, it's going to be a lot weaker. the number on the arrow doesn't change. It's the thickness of your wall basically, and how much it actually spines or flexes is your number you're looking at here. And it doesn't matter if it's super fat arrow, it can do the exact same thing. That's how they manufacture them, because otherwise no one would shoot extremely big arrows or extremely small arrows. And the only thing you really gain from the big arrows is you're going to cut more lines in your tournaments and stuff. And the smaller they are, like, you know, these are your average hunting arrows, but you can get them like a quarter this size. And the only reason you do that most of the time is for wind. But that's when you're shooting really far and, you know, things along that line. So, and you can't really get broadheads to really fit on those anyway. So most people don't get those to begin with. But yeah, go over those little things, you know, see if you can cut it off or if it's right where you actually need to be, or maybe you need to turn your bow up a little bit or turn it down a little bit because you're shooting too weak of an arrow. But other than that, you know, hopefully this stuff will help you guys out. If not, feel free to call the shop, send us some emails just like Tim did. Love the input, love to help you guys out. And as always, you guys have a good week. Did you guys know that you can test the straightness of your arrow without any extra tools? If you guys missed any of my other lessons and tips, feel free to check them out on the Hintz Media YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.
Inside you, there's an outside you. A you that takes the road less traveled than the road less traveled, and finds the comforts of home extremely uncomfortable. This is for that you.
Weekly Outdoor Plus, set in central Wisconsin, is all about archery, hunting, and anything outdoors.
Presented to you by Bucks and Bulls Archery, 3272 Church Street, Stevens Point.
Airs every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. on Fox 55.
Hey guys, it's that time of the week again. We're going to be going over some of our fan photos. If you'd like to get involved with the show and show off some of your photos, feel free to send them to us at weeklyoutdoorplus@live.com or message us on our Facebook page. Please also include your name and a brief description of what you've been shooting or hunting or what the picture's all about. So if you'd like to get involved in the next couple upcoming weeks, definitely send them in and hopefully we'll see some of your photos.
Our first picture this week comes from Gary while shed hunting and doing some filming for next week's episode. And next we have one of this beautiful Florida sunset. And here's one from Jenna at the Delaware Water Gap. And here's another awesome shot from their hike while enjoying this spring weather. Here's a central Wisconsin shed found last week. Next we have one from Dave who got this picture of a strutting Tom at work. And here's some more guys enjoying this spring weather fishing on the Wisconsin River. And our last picture this week is of the Stankowski boys after a good day of fishing down in Texas.
Big thanks to the fan photos this week. If you're interested in having yours on here, again, send them via email to weeklyoutdoorplus@live.com or message format on Facebook. Stay tuned for some more Weekly Outdoor Plus action.
Bucks and Bulls Archery in Stevens Point is now under new ownership and has a new location. Stop down to 3272 Church Street and meet the new owner, Gary Hintz. His fully stocked pro shop carries Matthews, Hoyt, and many more products to serve all your needs. They also do all repairs for any style and full customizations. Leagues and lessons will begin soon, so stop in today and check out what's new, because we're confident that we can get you from in here to out there. Bucks and Bulls Archery, Stevens Point, Wisconsin.
real deal mineral. The results speak for themselves.
Matero's Pub and Pizza in Polonia is home to York Kerr and Portage County's best fish fry and best bartender. All of their food is made from scratch, including their delicious thin crust pizzas, making any selection worth the drive. Whether it's game night, a celebration, Saturday shrimp dinner, or just a night out, come join us at Matero's, located on Highway 66 just 7 miles east of Stevens Point. Open 4 p.m. Wednesday through Sunday. For more information, go to www.materospizza.com.
Inside you, there's an outside you. A you that takes the road less traveled than the road less traveled, and finds the comforts of home extremely uncomfortable. This is for that you.
Optimizer by HHA Sports. The Optimizer Lite Ultra, voted #1 single pin adjustable sight for 10 years running. The Optimizer Speed Dial for crossbows, to the yard accuracy with a single reticle. And the Optimizer Horizon, offering unmatched accuracy from both short and long range firearms. All Optimizer sight systems utilize range dial shoot technology. Ask for Optimizer at a dealer near you.
Woodmat frames are fully customizable handcrafted wood frames. Choose your style of frame, then customize the white maple, cherry, or alderwood mattings with any logo, image, or text. Each and every frame is handmade in central Wisconsin by Master Woodworks, whose creativity and precision led to the creation of these great new frames. Whether you're looking for a single frame or something for the whole group, woodmatframes.com is the place to go. Check us out online or email sales@woodmatframes.com for pricing and ordering information. So when you're ready to put another memory on the wall, come to woodmatframes.com and make it extra special. And now we're back with Gary with some more action from the Janesville Indoor Shoot.
Zachary, 6. James, lane 7. Austin, lane 8. Johnny, lane 9. Nick, lane 10. Skylar, lane 11. Hunter, lane 12. Devin, 13. Nick, 14. Wyatt, 15. Edward, 16.
10 of the kids on this line came with Bucks and Bulls Archery.
Come on, want to go over a few rules? Some of you guys have heard this from the time before, but want to make sure it's fair for everyone.
Okay. Archer to the line.
I wish the last one would have been a 5. I would have got 25.
You're doing good.
24 though.
If you let up like that, you're doing good. What'd you get?
24.
Hey James, how's it going?
5, 4, 4.
When you're shooting good shots, you're all to the right a little bit. Just keep moving the sight so it moves over. Don't keep pounding that same spot and losing points. Okay? Keep turning it.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Weekly Outdoor Plus presented by Bucks and Bulls Archery in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Don't forget to check us out online at facebook.com/weeklyoutdoorplus. See you next week. Bucks and Bulls Archery in Stevens Point is now under new ownership and has a new location. Stop down to 3272 Church Street and meet the new owner, Gary Hintz. His fully stocked pro shop carries Matthews, Hoyt, and many more products to serve all your needs. They also do all repairs for any style and full customizations. Leagues and lessons will begin soon, so stop in today and check out what's new, because we're confident that we can get you from in here to out there. Bucks and Bulls Archery, Stevens Point, Wisconsin.
Do you guys know that you can test the straightness of your arrow without any extra tools? If you guys missed any of my other lessons and tips, feel free to check them out on the Hintz Media YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Weekly Outdoor Plus, set in central Wisconsin, is all about archery, hunting, and anything outdoors.
Presented to you by Bucks and Bulls Archery, 3272 Church Street, Stevens Point.
Airs every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. on Fox 55.